Okay, now we're live. Yep.
Okay. Hmm. We are like,
Let's give people a couple minutes and then we can start.
sure.
Okay, I think we can go ahead and start. Um,
Okay.
we can start off with introduction. So I am Umar Imtiaz and I am a founding engineer at Langbase. And today I'll be taking you through a demonstration of pipes that we have on our platform. And then Ankit will take you through the process of how you can use it and create an agent that actually works. So, Ankit, can you introduce yourself and then we can start.
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. I am Ankit. I am a software engineer at Langbase. Today, I and Omar, and going to show you the demonstration, and I will going to live code a agent, and you will see how we are at Langbase use our SDK to demonstrate and build agents with Langbase.
Fantastic. So let's start. Let's kick it off with a demonstration of the pipe.
Hmm.
So, Ankit, my screens are visible, right?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah. So, this is how the platform looks like once you've signed up to Langbase and you've created a pipe. So you hit on add and give it a name and description, and you'll get to a platform that looks like this. And when you get here, the first thing you will do is you will select an LLM. So at Langbase, you get to choose any LLM by any provider that you like and that fits your application. In a moment, we'll see how you can do a comparative analysis and identifying an LLM that works best for your particular application. Every LLM that is released by any provider becomes live on our platform within an hour of its release. So you'll never be lagging behind in terms of the availability of LLMs. So you choose one for this particular demonstration. I'm going to choose GPT-4o Mini, and once you've done that, you get to select the temperature of your pipe. So you can do a custom sweep as well. You can set it to be precise. This is when your agent will be dealing with healthcare or legal documentation. You can set it to be creative if you're writing a script of a movie or you're writing social media posts. And once you've selected the LLM and you've set its temperature, you then go on and you have a decision to make whether or not you'll be connecting a memory with your pipe. So any memory you upload to your own organization or your own account will become available to be connected to any pipe that you deem fit. Um, for this particular demonstration, I have connected the memory which is named support documentation. So it has all the language documentation that you will need to refer to in case you need to do something on our platform. So connected that particular memory with this pipe. The purpose of this pipe is to act as a support agent, which means that if you have any questions about the platform, Langbase, and you need to find its answer, you can just ask this pipe. So since it's a support pipe, its task is to serve as a knowledgeable agent, and any input that you provide to it, it will analyze it with that context. It is built to answer questions. It will understand the question carefully. It will analyze the user's request, determine its intent, and identify any specific topics, products, and features mentioned. So once it analyzes the question, it will go to the memory which I have attached to it, and it will look for answers there. So in a moment, we will see how it responds. So you've selected an LLM, you've attached a memory, and you've designed a prompt, a system prompt. After that, you set the meta of the pipe, the kind of response that you're looking to generate, if you want to get the output in JSON mode or not, if you want to put any moderations in place or not, do you want to increase the quality of response, do you want to decrease the quality of response, and
I
what
think
are the
the
other
Omar connection has been lost.
Ankit, you good?
Yeah, yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so did I lose you or not?
Yeah, you were explaining the JSON things.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, yeah,
So not so far behind.
yeah,
So
yeah.
once you set all of the meta,
Mhm.
you then ask a question. Like right now, I can ask it any question that I want. I can say, can I upload memories to my pipe via APIs? So
Mhm.
can I upload memories to my pipe via API instead of using the platform? And if I ask it this question, I've generated a couple of responses in advance to just to make sure that we can do a good comparative analysis. So I asked this question, and at that time, my LLM was GPT-4o, and the prompt that I used was okay. It's,
It's a system prompt, right?
yeah, it's a system prompt.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, yeah, the input.
Mhm.
So can I upload documents to memory through an API? And the
Mhm.
response it gave me was not only yes, you can, but it also gave me a detail answer to how to get there. Yeah. So this was done with GPT-4o. It's an expensive model, and as you can see over here, it says 0.016693, which would end up as 16,000 US dollars per million requests, and it is quite expensive. Even though I got a high quality response, it will be expensive. The high quality response is expensive. So if I do the same thing, let's see for this run on November 22nd, um, the LLM that I used was Gemini 1.5 Flash, and the input that I sent it was, can I upload documents to the memory through an API? Same question,
Mhm.
and if we look at the completion, we can say that it does provide the answer, and it does provide you where to look for it, but it does not give you as much of a detail as it was with GPT-4o. So the quality of response might not be up to the mark. Depends on your application. If you're just looking for a yes or no, it's good enough. But if you want detailed breakdown of how to do it, you'll need to use GPT-4o or another model for that matter. So the point is, you can quickly switch between different LLMs, and you can do a comparative analysis live. Now, this particular Gemini 1.5 Flash LLM based pipe is going to cost me only 400 US dollars for a million runs. So, with Langbase Studio, you can do um, a very detailed comparative analysis based on the quality of response, the amount of money it will cost you, and any other optimization that you would like to do with your pipe. So not only you can do iterations on the completion, you can do iterations on prompts as well. It gives you what was the system prompt designed for that particular run. So yeah, so that is how you create and test your pipes on Langbase. And now Ankit is going to take a pipe and take use its API key and create an agent that does a job for you. Ankit, over to you.
Okay, okay. So guys, I'm going to share my screen and show you all how to live code an agent. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to make a feedback agent. Hope my screen is sharing.
Yep. Yes, it is. It is available.
Okay, okay, good. So I'm going to make a feedback agent. So first of all, before designing any agent, we have to think about what we are going to do and what's our end goal. So I'm going to design a feedback agent. Yes. So here user will give us a feedback from a chatbot or anything, then what our agent workflow would look like is we should look up to the message of the user that whether it is a positive agent, a positive response or negative, that user is happy or sad with the feedback. So we can have a sentiment agent which will do this. And also, if the feedback is very long, we can make a summary agent which will summarize the uh, response user have given to us. So based on this, if the sentiment is positive, if it is positive, then we will directly respond to user, so that then we will make a positive response agent which will di- directly respond to the user if the response is positive. But if it is negative, we can, for example, if a user is frustrated by our experience or while experiencing our platform, we should look into it. So we should have a human in the loop for that use case. So there's, if the feedback is negative, then we can give to a agent which will call a human, so this is the workflow I am going to demonstrate and live code. Looks right.
Yep. Yes, it does.
Okay, so let initialize a empty project. I'm installing the TypeScript and dependencies. So now we have initialized the project. Now let's change the now let's make a file called as index.ts, where we will write all the logic for the agent. So let me change the root dir to source. So let me tell you about Langbase have is its SDK, where you can directly use it and write the code very easily. So you can get Langbase SDK by just writing pnpm install Langbase, and it will download the SDK. So now you can import that SDK. As you can see, I've imported the SDK. Now let's make a Langbase class from it, where I will going to specify the API key of our Langbase. So you can take that API key. Also, we need to give it in the env file, so that let's create a .env file in the root of our folder, where we will give the language API key. So here is the language API key. I will quickly grab it from my folder. Let me just uh, stop my screen for a second. You can grab it from here, language API key.
Okay.
Just a second. Okay. So my language API key is been feeded. Now I have to also install .env. So as you can see, I have initialized language here. Now you user will give us a message that will be a feedback message. For example, I love this project. For example, this will be a message. Now we will create pipes as we discussed from here. First of all, I will create the sentiment agent pipe, then summary agent pipe, then positive response agent pipe, then a pipe which will call an humor. Okay, so let me create that pipe. So let's call, let's make a function which we will call a create feedback sentiment agent. Feedback agent, for example. What this function will do, what we are going to do is, we are making a language pipe in our language, so that we can call this agent. So as you can see, I am writing from the SDK dot language dot pipes dot create. Then we will pass the name of the agent, that is feedback agent, or feedback sentiment agent to be precise. Feedback sentiment agent. Then we can give description. Then we can give like whether the agent should be private or in public. So let's make it private agent. Then let's give it a system prompt, which we will pass in the message section. As you can see, this is, I will grab a system from locally. So let me give a system prompt here. So the system prompt is, you are a system sentiment analyzer, and you will get a feedback and respond it with it. As you can see, I am saying it respond with JSON. So we can make JSON true in our schema, and we can also make absurd to be true, so that we are going to run this agent multiple times, so that the first time this agent create, it will not be created many times. That would the absurd flag will take care of it. So as we have created the sentiment agent, now let's create the summary agent. Feedback summary agent, which will do is await language. again, I am using Langbase SDKs for this. Okay. Name is feedback summary agent, and all the descriptions I have told about. So now what I can do is again make a system prompt where I will describe what this feedback summary agent do. So let me initialize a system prompt for this. So it could be a content summarizer, which will take the content and summarize and make it point to point, so that this, our system know it very well. So as you can see, now we have created feedback summary agent. Now let's create a let me see the workflow. We have created the sentiment agent, which will sentiment the feedback is positive or negative, and we have also created a summary agent, which will summarize the feedback coming from the user. Then we will make a positive response agent. So let me create a positive response agent. If the feedback is positive, we will directly response it to give in the positive response. So let me again create it from language pipes dot create. Then name would be positive agent. Then description would be a pipe that generate a positive response to user feedback. Then stated would be private. Again, JSON to be true and upside true messages. And then role would be we will providing the system prompt here. So as you can see, let me grab the system prompt from locally. So we can write it like you are a customer support agent that write appreciative response, positive feedback for customers. Now, as you can see, we have wrote this agent. Now let write a agent which will call the human in the root. Let's call that agent escalation agent, which will also a language pipe agent. I'm creating that pipe agent for us. Then I will name that agent escalation agent, and description would be a pipe that escalates negative feedback to human. Then status is private, JSON observe. Then we can give the messages, and let me grab the message from locally system message. I have crafted the system message. The all of the things are dependent on the system message. Whatever you give in the system prompt, it will behave like that. So be careful while making the system prompt, and make it careful. Just a sec. Yes. So I have made all four agents as right. So I the sentiment agent is completed, the summary agent is completed, positive response agent is completed, and agent calling agent. Now we will write a flow that if user messages come and how the flow will work out. So let's write the flow now. We have written the agent so far. So here is the user feedback. Now I'm going to write the flow for it. So the flow would look like this is our cons mm, feedback agent, mm, which will take the user feedback user feedback as an input, and then we will console log the feedback. For now, what is the feedback user have submitted? So as you can see, now let's call the feed. Now let's grab the feedback sentiment and feedback summary from calling parallelly the both agents. So let's call them feedback sentiment agent and feedback summary agent. So first of all, we have created the agents. Now I will write a flow how to run these agents also. So let me write these also. So here is the flow. How can you write the function, and function name would be feedback sentiment agent, and then we can going to get here. We are going to run that agent, and then we are going to sentiment that. So what we can do is take the input here. So we can take a user input from here and pass that in our pipe which we have made. So create. So what this line do is it's calling this and creating the pipe feedback sentiment agent, and I'm now running that agent. So here is the feedback and the user feedback I got. So I can now, this is the response from the agent. I can then, that would be a, the response would be in JSON because the JSON was true. So I will take the JSON and parse it. So let me just parse the JSON response and return that sentiment from here. Now the feedback sentiment agent is done and we have sent this. Now let's similarly write uh, running agent for the uh, summary agent. So let's write that async function, and name would be feedback some summary agent, where we will take user feedback and respond to the user. Const response is equals to await language dot pipes dot run, and status stream will be called name, and let's pass the roads here. So as you can see, I have written this, and also I can parse the response and get the summary from here. So as you can see, I have gotten the summary and this. Now you can pass in the feedback and get the agent. Now what we will do is Let's console log the feedback sentiment and feedback summary we get from the agent. Now, if the feedback sentiment is happy, then we will directly call our agent, which will respond positively to the message. So, as you can see, positive response, and we will make a positive response agent now, because we have created that agent but haven't run that agent for now. Also, let's call this, because I have forgot to call the summary agent here. Then we will create a workflow so that we can call this. Hmm. So let's create it here. Async function positive response agent, where it will first create that agent. Positive response. Let's call it create positive response. Hmm. Hmm. So guys, now I am creating the positive response and send in user the summary and everything we have got from you. So let me the we will pass in the user message what we get here. Let me send the user message here, and write a response, and feedback summary will be the summary we got from above. So we can this is the feedback summary, so we can directly pass in the feedback summary from here. So as you can see, I have passed in the feedback summary I got from the summary agent.
Yeah.
Now I will return that from here.
Okay.
So, so I will return the response. Also, let me check quickly. We can directly stream these to the user, because that would be a great. So let me stream this to the user. Hmm. So by doing this, we can directly start streaming to the user whatever the response we will get. So return. So this is, now we have written all the calling. Now just the agent calling agent. Just the workflow for calling agent is remaining. So let me quickly uh, write it also. So here is the function, and I will name it as exclamation message. because we are going to escalate the message to the humans. So as you can see, we can also pass in the sentiment here, because as we are going to get negative sentiment.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this will create a so let me rename it to create this. And as you can see, I am creating the agent and then passing the response from here. So I can go like user feedback and feedback sentiment. So I can write explanation message and send it to the user, send it to our support human who will contact that customer. Now I will write the workflow which I have left in the middle here. So as you can see, what our progress till now. Let me explain, and I have written lot of things and haven't explained it properly.
Yeah,
Should I
please.
explain? Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, uh, first of all, in these, I have created the agents for sentiment. As you can see, this is the sentiment agent. I have created that with the system prompts. This is the system sentiment agent, which will check whether the sentiment is positive or negative. Then we will the message we get can be very long, so we will just summarize it to pinpoint what's the issue with the user. So that's we are going to do in feedback summary agent. Then if the sentiment is positive, we have a positive response agent which will respond positively to the user. And if the response is negative, we have an explanation message uh, agent which will give message that the query has been sent to our human support and he will contact you soon. So these type of things we can do. So now this is the workflow. Here we have created the agent. Now in these functions I am calling that with the first got the user feedback here, and then I am sending that user feedback and running that agent with that user feedback and that agent. This function is just doing and running that agent. So this is res- responding. Same that this feedback summary agent function is running that feedback summary agent with the user feedback I got in. So as you can see, I got the user feedback. I am running it through summary agent, then running it through the sentiment agent, then running it through summary agent, and then summary agent will decide that it is positive or negative. So that's what we are saying is if the feedback sentiment is happy, we will send it to positive response. If it is negative, we will send it to escalation. So that's the workflow we are sending here. That
Yeah,
positive
that makes
response.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that
Go.
makes sense. Please go
Oh,
ahead.
okay, okay, okay. Now I will create this. If the sentiment is happy, then we will send user a message. If the sentiment is not, user is very upset with us, we can send this explanation message function, the agent we wrote. Now, as you know, the positive response we have made it stream to be true. So we have runner functions to stream the response to the user. So I am calling that runner function, and it will just let me check what. String to be true. I make this returning the string. Oh, response. Response of completion. What is this? Okay. Hmm. So I think the workflow is. I have written all the code. Let me explain it. Really sorry. I got there and I was super into it. So now, mm, as you can see, here is the user feedback, and this is the feedback agent. So I have first of all getting calling the feedback sentiment agent and summary agent with the user feedback. Then we will get the response from here and here, and we will log that. Then if the feedback sentiment is happy, we will send it to our positive response agent, which will respond it with positive message that and if it is negative, then we can send it to exclamation message where the sentiment is negative, so it will respond like our human is going to reach out. So let's call this agent quickly, feedback agent with user feedback. Now, so let's give it a uh, user feedback like I love this product. For example, Langbase is a great product. I love it. Now let's run this workflow. So injector please. So as you can.
What happened there?
Just listen.
Okay.
This is all expect when you do. I think we have errors with.
No worries, take your time to fix it.
Yeah, just listen. Hmm. Hmm. The issue is we are not giving it a type, not you. We are giving it a common yes. So this will not fix it. Hmm. So as you can see, we are importing, but haven't passing the schedule. Now let's see what the error. Let us move it. Okay. What's the error? Let's see now. Pipe is not found. So as you can see, we are calling these agents and creating feedback. Let's continue. If pipe name is correct. Feedback sentiment. Let me check the pipe name once again. Feedback sentiment. Oh, I forgot to make it a bit.
Ah, okay. I was wondering why it isn't working.
Yeah, yeah. So as you can see, the pipe is creating in the background. Fail to park position. So let's see where. Yes. So listen to just look at this. Mm, this one is true. Message is this. Yes. Yes. let me paste the running code I have written locally so that user don't waste their time.
Yeah, sure. So this example will be available publicly in a couple of days, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
So as you can see, I might be missing some S cases for that here. So let me correct it right now. So as you can see, this is the same flow. Like we are taking the user feedback here and sending it to. Okay. Let me store the types for it. Sometimes live coding can go wrong also.
Well, it was working in the demo you gave me. I think it broke down during the live stream.
Hmm.
Yeah, we can fix it.
Yes, yes. So now I have cleared all the errors. Let's run the workflow for once. As you can see, we are getting feedback, and the feedback is good, and it's saying I am happy with the service I received yesterday, and the sentiment is happy. So our agent first of all checked the sentiment of the user, and it is happy. So they gave a summary of the feedback, satisfied with the product. So the positive writer agent is called feedback agent, which sent this message.
Okay, can you take a moment and educate us on what the problem was and how you solved it?
Oh, okay, okay. So the problem was with types. So I with process. So I removed it and made it .env and directly added a .config here so that it doesn't gives an error.
Awesome, awesome.
So as you can see, it's saying thank you for your kind feedback and given that. And if I will give the user a negative feedback, I am really disappointed with the service and everything. Then I am really disappointed with the service. So as you can see, the sentiment is frustrated here, and you will get like customer is frustrated, so escalating to human support. So it will call the human, and they will contact the customer.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Ankit. Thank you for taking the
Okay.
time to take us through uh, your live code and the agent example. I'm sure it's pretty helpful. Can you share a little bit more about other examples that you're working on? How many are
Okay,
there?
okay.
What fields are they
Mhm.
catering for? And when will they become available for people to try out?
There are almost 12 examples, uh,
Okay,
and each of them are very awesome. They are like related to different fields. Some are travel agents where you can plan your whole traveling journey. Just write it, uh, give the city you are to travel, and that agent will make it a different task and search on where city you are going and give you the a brief of your travel. Another is one is programming tutor agent, which will teach you about any programming language you want to learn. Another is car buyer agent. You can buy,
okay,
select the cars from it. So there are a lot of agents we are going to publish
awesome,
pretty
awesome.
soon.
So, yeah, so can we expect them to be available publicly on our examples page, agent examples page, in the next 24 hours?
Yeah, it can be. We can't say the
Okay,
deadline because there is something big coming soon. We will
okay, okay.
get
So
to know.
24 hours ideally, and if it's a stretch, it will be
Mm.
48 hours,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they
yeah.
will be available this week. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ankit.
Mm.
Thank you.
Okay, okay. Okay,
Bye
man.
bye.
Great. Bye bye.